It's April 27th, 2015. The earthquake hit Kathmandu, mostly all of Nepal. I actually felt it in Kolkata and in New Delhi as well. It was big. We just got power on. Was able to watch the BBC World. They had some flyovers of Bhaktapur. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. I mean, from what I saw just walking through the streets and from what I can see from the rooftop, yeah, but I mean, just the aerial views, it's really sad. I was actually in Kathmandu at the time, going to the backpack factory to have balloon bags made. I've been working there a lot, and got to Ratna Park, which is in the center of Kathmandu. Got off the bus, walked to the main intersection where it turns off to go to Kingsway. Keeps going straight to Tamil to use the ATM. I was using the ATM, trying it a few times. Finally felt a wiggle, and I'm like, I was next to the main road, and I'm like, that's not a truck. And I knew it was an earthquake because I've always thought there was going to be an earthquake here. I mean, they've been due for it for a long time. So I got out of there as quick as I could. Got out of luckily it was just inside of a building right in the doorway at the big bazaar. Ran out. Everybody was kind of going out towards the street. 2 buildings across the street from me. The whole side of the upper part fell down, the second story. Killing one probably late 20-year-old guy in a brown and white shirt. He put his hands up, but I mean, it was, a full story up of a whole big brick wall coming down on him. Ran over there, tried to dig him out, but there was no way. I mean, he was crushed. I mean, there was no sense of it. Just, I had to do something. I didn't know what else to do. I was scared. And then, the aftershocks came. I started walking towards the bus park because I had to come back to Bhaktapur because the whole family was here. I tried calling and calling, no answer. Phone lines, of course, were all down. And got to the bus park, and another aftershock, pretty big aftershock hit. Everybody kind of sat down on the ground. I was kind of standing and just shaking it out. And then just kind of walked through. They made a new little cutway through to get to Bhaktapur, to get out of the city near the army base there. And got to the big mandala in the middle of the road and finally caught a bus back to Bhaktapur, a very, very crowded bus. Got back to Bhaktapur and basically was able to contact Stacy on the bus and find out everybody was okay. So extremely relieved. They were actually in the house when it happened. They were supposed to go out and do some shopping in the center of town, which is where most of the destruction hit. So I was really scared, but everybody's safe. And then we went to Chandra Handicraft. That night we stayed outside. Luckily it didn't rain because we just brought some carpets out, rugs out, and blankets and that, and slept under the stars because there was no way. There was 66 aftershocks that night, some of them big, most of them kind of small. Next day, a few little aftershocks. Walked in to the center of town to see the devastation, really, really bad. Came back here. Then yesterday went up to Chandra Handicraft to see if I can pick up some of my product called Nadan, and he was available, who does all my clown costumes. When we were at Chandra Handicraft, before we went to see Nadan, that's when the next earthquake hit, the 6.9, and just watched the walls at Chandra Handicraft shake, and everything just shake. And off in the near distance, you just saw 2 buildings go down. You just saw the big dust cloud come up. And in that area, there was a lot of devastation on the first earthquake. And then got my clown costumes. Then today, finally, we got the scooter. Product took the scooter in for servicing, so of course we didn't have access to that because it was locked up. But he knew the people, so we actually got access to it. Got an extra set of keys, got it out of there. And actually, the other day when we went to Chandra Handicraft, we went and saw Nadan and got my clown costumes. He was scared to death to go in the building, but I'm like, I'll go in if you don't want to. So we ran in quickly. We got everything out. Gave him some money because everybody's kind of desperate for cash right now because the markets are kind of going a little bit low on supplies now. So it's a good thing we're getting out because we don't really need to be here, and we're just eating the food that could go to the locals. And then today that we got the scooter out today, we actually took that to Kathmandu and got some of the bags. And to my surprise, they were at the factory working. I tried calling and calling and calling. Nobody answered the phones. All the mobiles were switched off. I was scared because it was Saturday. They usually don't work on Saturday. They were going in just for me to kind of do my work. And when we got to the area, they were all new buildings. So for the most part, there was nothing wrong. It looked just normal. And then, to my surprise, went in the factory, and Ram, who's doing my balloon bags, he was there working. So, God bless the guy. Can't believe it. I mean, I'm like, you don't need to be here. You should be home with your family. Got the bags, brought them all back on the scooter. They're doing some more. They're going to do some straps tomorrow for them, so they'll be complete. And hopefully I can raise a little bit of money, maybe do something for the people here, and kind of help out my friends. So tomorrow we're leaving at 9:30 p.m. and we'll get out of Bhaktapur and get out of Nepal. So hopefully, I don't know, all the international flights are going. Domestic flights have all been canceled. We're on an international flight, so we should be okay. Our neighbor works for the airport. He said she should be fine. So sad to go, but like I said, we don't need to be here. They got a lot of cleanup to do. There's not much I can do. So just a whole sad situation. So feel really bad for the Nepalese. Kathmandu wasn't so bad. Bhaktapur, the center of town over there, got hit really, really hard, but most of the buildings are 100 to 300 years old. Sanu, who owns Chandra Handicraft, he lost his family house. Vishnu, who does a lot of my work at Chandra Handicraft, she lost her house. My friend's sister-in-law, her house is not livable. Pradip, who's my friend here, his family house, that's unlivable too. Luckily, we have the new house here that he built a few years ago and put a lot of extra good supplies into it and a lot of extra money in concrete and steel rods and that, so it's built pretty strong. So all's well. We're going home tomorrow, so I'll see everybody when we get home. Upload this when I get home. All right, namaste.